Watching yesterday on a Sunday, flopping in and out of the fish pan, James Harden. A lot of controversy in that game that saw the Golden State Warriors win 104-100. If you had that Houston ticket, you stayed under the total. And also, Teddy, some interesting stuff in that game. The technical at the end of the game, maybe saving backers one way. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you want to talk point spread drama. There was plenty of point spread drama in Golden State, Houston. But what everyone's talking about today is the fouls or the lack thereof against the Warriors from how they defended Houston on the three-point line. I mean, the Rockets jacked up 47 threes yesterday, 14 of 47, just 29% from the arc. They still got the money, in part thanks to those late-game shenanigans. But really, the quotes here are all about what's going on at the three-point line and how Golden State's defending. James Harden, quote, "Call the game how it's supposed to be called, and that's it, and I'll live with the results." But especially, we all know what happened a few years back with Kawhi. That can change an entire series. Obviously, talk about Kawhi Leonard getting hurt when he got undercut by Zaza Pachulia, who didn't let him go down following a three-point shot. That was the issue yesterday, and there were multiple circumstances, multiple opportunities for the refs to call free throws that they didn't call. Obviously, the Rockets not happy about it after the game. Of course, talk about the Warriors. Hey, here's Draymond Green. When you land 3 feet ahead of where you shoot the ball from, that really ain't my issue. I've been fouled by James on a James three-pointer before. That's just the nature of the games we play. Refereeing is an inexact science, so it is what it is. All that being said, Mike D'Antoni said the Rockets should have had 20 more free throws than they did. The drama here, pretty good for a game one. Houston got the money, and you're right. The technical, followed by the 4 seconds afterwards with nobody fouling, nobody doing anything, probably saved Rockets backers in that game getting the money instead of getting the push or the loss.
Yeah, no 2 free throws on the technical. You just get 1. They sort of walk off the court. The one thing that's interesting about that, because I know, the boy who cried wolf is what we like to see. We see it in the NHL a lot. If you're going in on a breakaway and you get taken down, but you dive, it's an offsetting penalty. You don't really have that in the NBA. And there were instances to me, Teddy, which I actually thought that a little bit of undercutting was going on with Klay Thompson. But if you continually do it and then over-exaggerate, the last play of the game that came into question, Teddy, almost basically like, James Harden was at half court and landed inside the free throw line by the time he was done with that jump shot. I completely agree with that call, but it'll be interesting. And we're gamblers here, as we always like to say. Moving forward, Teddy, in the game too, you see the squawking out there. You see the NBA say, well, we might have missed 2 or 3 of those in the first half. Do you think we see like a big, I want to say almost like a shift in the opposite direction where they're going to be overprotective and call these in game 2?
No, I don't think so. The teams that bitch and moan don't tend to get the love from the refs the next time around. And maybe you get some of the coin flip calls, but to say, all right, next time out, you can count on Houston getting the calls when Golden State defends that way. I wouldn't count on it. We didn't see him in game 1. And all the bitching and moaning in the world isn't going to change the ref's opinion about what a foul is and what a foul isn't. Be very interesting to see this one for game 2. We notice that the markets haven't made any adjustment whatsoever. There's no zigzag in play here with the Warriors 5.5, which is pretty much what the point spread was for game 1. Some books went up to 6 before close yesterday.
And I thought the interesting part about this was as well, Teddy, is when you look at it, it's like a one-way street because one team, it seems like they're trying to, evade the rule books, jump in and create contact every single time they pull up for a jump shot, while the other team, Golden State, just worried about making baskets. It'll be interesting to see them follow through in game 2. But what we thought we would see all year long, Teddy, the Boston Celtics kicking it in the hyper gear. Now they get into the playoffs, dominant in round 1, dominant in the first game of round 2 versus the Bucks. And people holding that ticket saying, wait, man, got 7.5 and 8. Is that a joke? I have to pretty much, as I say, wipe the cold out your eye. How did I get +8 for this game? And then you look at that game 2 spread, people lining up, Teddy, to take those Celtics again.
Well, I mean, they're 5-0 in the postseason, and they're catching 7.5 points in game 2. And game 1 wasn't just a win. I mean, that was a beatdown. A 2-point lead at the half turned into a blowout in the second half. And everyone knows, Brad Stevens, quote, "This is a hard team to play against." That wasn't their best game. All that being said, here's a quote from Kyrie Irving. Again, a Celtics team that is undefeated in the playoffs, dominant game 1 blowout, and is catching 7.5 points in game 2. Quote, we're dealing with our ups and downs, but I think we just have an appreciation for the group that we have. We're kind of coming together now after an uneven regular season. A lot of respect for Milwaukee still in the betting markets. You would expect the Bucks to play better than they did in game one, which was pretty ugly. But to ask them to lay 7.5, well, that's a little bit rich for my blood, considering how well the Celtics have played here in the postseason.
It's amazing looking at the Celtics set. I mean, they have everything that you want. You know, a good, strong starting five, a superstar point guard player who's been there, done that, and has a ring. And then obviously that second wave comes in. Then you back it up with the fantastic head coach. We'll see if it continues. But look, all that pressure is now shifted to the Milwaukee Bucks. They got to get it done game 2 at home. Otherwise, they're going to be in some deep trouble here. The one team we keep bringing up here, Teddy, on that betting show is the Yankees. We don't even know who's in their lineup daily. This is almost like, the split squad, Teddy, in spring training that we have. You have the A team and the B team goes up to Sarasota while the regular team plays down somewhere in Clearwater. This is amazing stuff because we even had games lined like first 5 innings, an over-under of 3, full games 6, 7.5, 8 continuously. Every time I turn on the Yankees, it doesn't matter who's in the lineup, Teddy. They're raking at the plate.
Yeah, okay, here's the quote from their leading home run hitter. You know the Yankees' leading home run hitter? No, maybe it's not Giancarlo. Oh, no, it's not Judge. Yeah, it's Luke Voigt. Quote, right now we're getting it all done. We're getting it done in all facets of the game. Obviously, the home runs are nice. He's been on a bomb tear. But we're getting guys over, getting sacrifice flies, huge hits. Guys are stepping up in bigger roles. It's fun to watch. Every quote coming out of that Bronx Bombers locker room right now is, we love each other. We're playing great. We're picking each other up. When this guy's struggling, that guy's stepping up. Yankees are a team that has been severely undervalued by the betting markets in recent weeks. And boy, the lead they're putting together right now, over a Boston team that continues to struggle, may well pay dividends later in the season.
Yeah, losing hundreds of millions of dollars in payroll doesn't seem to matter. 9 of 10 wins for the Yankees. We'll see if they come home, and that can certainly continue. But certainly interesting for your bench. And now you get that B team says, hey, we towed the line. Here comes the A team back. We'll see if that certainly measures up for the rest of the year.